Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to give you some very real reasons why you should never give up hope that things can get better, even with the world and the chaos that it's in. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to let you know what that hope depends on, and I bet it's something you've not thought of before or that you've overlooked or discounted in the past. Now, in our search for real hope in this world, we're caught, like in so many things, between two extremes. On the one hand, we live in this land of false promises. I mean, just look at YouTube. It's like 5 steps to become a millionaire, 3 steps to become a meditation guru. Give me 59 seconds and I'm going to change your life. And of course, the biggest peddlers of promises are our politicians. They're all talking about hope at the moment. We got Zach Polanski in the Green Party saying vote hope in the last election. And now Andy Burnham's there saying he's going to put hope in every heart. And you know, I hope that's true. I really hope that he does it. My fear, though, is are they being real with us? Like Andy Burnham is there saying he's going to run a cost of living government, but he is not talking about the Iran war, which is going to have a much bigger effect on inflation, on our economy, than any little tweaks that his government can do. But he's not talking about it because if he did, he would admit that he's powerless to affect these things that are having such a huge impact on our lives. And every time these guys make false promises, every time there's a false promise that does not come to pass, well, then a little bit of us dies because we just think, yeah, there is no hope. Nothing can be done. So we fall to the other extreme, which is despair. Now, in this world right now, despair can feel like realism, and I get that. You know, we feel completely powerless about these huge things that are affecting our lives. The economy, the conflicts around the world, the earth itself is changing. AI is rampaging and we're constantly being told about this huge impact it's going to have on us, but no one's asking us what we want. No one's saying to us, oh, what do you guys think we should do about this? So what agency have we got? We only can do one thing. Turn it off. Turn the radio off. Don't look at the news. Just focus on your own life, on what's right in front of you, and let the rest take care of itself. But what I'm trying to say to you today is that there is another way. There is another way between these poles. There's a path of real hope. So, before we get to it, I better give you my credentials. Why am I able to talk about this? Well, for 20 years, I was a documentary maker, and I went to the toughest places in the world to make films about war, terror attacks, humanitarian disasters.
Okay, the soldiers are coming in now.
Go.
Which way?
This way.
Firing rubber bullets right behind me.
And I did it because I thought if I made films about those things, then it would help the people caught up in them. But of course, leaving the relative safety and calm of Britain, when I went to those places, I was completely out of my depth. And I was hit by, the devastating reality of what humans are capable of. The violence and the cruelty, and how quickly a society, a functioning society, can unravel once those forces are unleashed. And you know, it made a real impact on me at a deep level. It affected me so deeply. But what I began to see was not just the worst of us, but also the best of us. I saw how, at the absolute edge of human experience, people found a capacity for courage, for looking after each other, for self-sacrifice, for humour, that people were still bantering with each other and cracking jokes when bombs were falling down on their heads. And of course, the capacity to hold on to the hope that things would get better, even when rationally there was no reason to do so. I'll tell you one story that sums it all up for me. I met this amazing pastor in a town in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, a place that's been truly ravaged by war over decades now. And in this town, there was ethnic fighting going on. There were these ethnic militias roving around, looking for people from the other tribe to slaughter them. And the vicar, because of who he was, because of his Christian beliefs, took people in from all sides into his church. He brought them all into the church to shelter them, to give them sanctuary. But of course, someone tipped off the militia, and the militia came knocking on the church door. They kicked the door in, and they found the pastor there with these people. And they prepared to kill them. They told them to take off their clothes, lie down on the floor, and they were going to hack them to death. But then, one of these militiamen suddenly said, hey, wait, I know this guy. Oh, I've been to his church services. Oh, this is a really good guy. We can't kill him. He's a good man. So they got them to put their clothes back on. They all sat together and had some food. And that is a story not only about the capacity for human beings to be courageous, to be good, to take risks on behalf of others, but also the fact that we just don't know what might happen, what might turn things around even at the 11th hour. So you've got to have hope. It's realistic to have hope. Now, you don't have to take my word for it either. There are other examples, so many examples. One of my favorites is a guy called Viktor Frankl, who was in the concentration camps in Auschwitz, the closest we've ever come to creating hell on earth. Even there, Frankl discovered that there was one freedom the Nazis could not take away from him: the freedom to choose his attitude to his situation and to choose to have hope. So he could give his last piece of bread to a man who was starving to death, who he knew he was going to die, just because he was making a statement about what human beings were and that this vision of horror was not going to last, that there would be a better day. And just think about our own country too. Think about this land, our history. In 1940, this country was facing the Nazis. We were alone against this extraordinary military machine that was rampaging across Europe, that had defeated France in a matter of weeks. And there were loads of people who said, we can't do this. We just got to negotiate with Hitler. Let's give up. Let's give him what he wants. But like him or loathe him, Churchill at that moment said, no, we are not giving in to this evil and this darkness. We're going to stand. We're going to believe that things will get better. And yes, we don't know how long it's going to take. And yes, it will take blood, sweat and toil and tears. But we're going to hold on to the belief that things are going to get better. And of course, we know how that worked out. So you're probably saying, well, this is all great. These are all great words. But what's the practical that I can do with this? Well, that's what I'm working on. I've got an idea for a project whose goal is to reunite our country and transform our system so that it works for us again, so that it listens to us again. It's called We the People. And in this channel, I'm going to track the effort of me and a small team of people who are working on this now to try and make it happen. And who knows, I don't know how far we're going to get, but maybe we'll make a little dent in the despair, at least. I'll be honest with you, we're really at the beginning of this. This is just a seed planted in the ground right now. We have we have no funding. We've got just a few people who are giving what time they can to it. We've got some amazing advisors who are supporting us with it, but yeah, it's the beginning, and we don't know whether we'll get anywhere. But as I said at the start, it does all depend on something very important. And that is you. Yeah, you. I am actually talking to you, whoever you are, whether we've met in person or not, wherever you're watching this, on your TV at home or on your phone on the bus, and whether you're a man or a woman, whichever part of the country you're in, whether you're rich or poor, black or white, whatever your religion, whether you've got a religion, it doesn't matter. I am talking to you, a deep call to ask you to join the fight to turn things around. Now, I don't know, as I say, whether we're going to get anywhere. I do know that it's not going to be easy. This is probably a journey of 10,000 steps. This is not a YouTube video of here's 3 things you can do and everything is going to get better. And by the way, I'm not saying either that, if you just recycle more and give to a charity or write to your goddamn MP that it's going to make any difference. No, I'm asking for something bigger. And that is the journey that we're going to go on together, I hope. But I do know this, that if this journey is 10,000 steps, then the first step is hope. Hope that we can actually change things. Hope that you are a part of that change, that you can make a difference, that you matter, because you do. Now, you don't have to believe me yet. You don't. But I hope that you'll come on the journey. And let's just see where we can get to. So, there's a lot to come. There's a lot of work that we've got to do. I hope you'll join me. And until next time, see you soon.